And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Wine Stream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick. Tonight we're going to try a bottle of wine that, well, I usually don't go that low on the price scale for this one, but it was brought to my attention, a special price. It's under $4 for this bottle of wine. We're going to try it out and see if it's any good. Who knows? It may be good. It may not be good at all. Uh, this may be a really short show tonight. But in either case, it should be a lot of fun to try it out and pair it with food and just see how it tastes. Of course, that isn't all what this show is about, of course. If you're joining me for the first time or for the 122nd time, because this is the 122nd episode of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. This is a stream of consciousness kind of show. Now, I do have some show notes. They're right here with me. I use them only as a guide because this show isn't about me. It's only somewhat about the wine. That's just the catalyst for the show. But the show is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, kicking back, relaxing with our favorite libations, our favorite snacks, just sitting back, shooting the breeze, just having a great time. And that is why the chats are here. So you and me can interact together in the chats. Of course, you can join me in the chat. You can join me live on Facebook, Facebook group, or the Facebook page, I should say, is Drink with Rick. Live on YouTube. YouTube is Drink with Rick. Also on Twitch. Twitch is Drink with Rick #1. Drink with Rick and the #1. Also on Twitter. Twitter is at Drink with Rick. And of course, you can join me live on the homepage at drinkwithrick.com. Now, I don't have a live chat going there, but I do have a comment box. If you open up the page for this live stream going on right now, you should get a little comment box, and you can type in your comments, and I will respond as soon as I can. That the comments are not really live per se. I can't see them in real time right now, and they are moderated somewhat, but I will see them later, and I will respond to you, and I will read your comments on the next episode of Drink with Rick as well. So, of course, if you can't watch now, and if you can watch later, of course, but if you can't watch later and you can only listen, you can, of course, catch the podcast. The podcast version of Drink with Rick goes out every Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, your favorite Android device, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Amazon Music, podcastindex.org, and by email. Now, if you click on the email button, for those of you who can see it on the website, you go to the website, click on the subscribe button, click on more subscribe options as well. You'll see an email button. If you click on the email button and enter your email address, you'll get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops. Every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And no salesman will call. Also, you can opt out at any time. If you're interested in supporting the show, because I run on I run on donations. I'm running on fumes right now. But if you are interested in supporting the show at all, you can buy me coffee. That's on the website too. Just buy me coffee, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you want to do. It's okay. There's no obligation to do that at all. I just want you here, and I just want you to enjoy the show and hang out with me and have a great time. Let's check the chats here before we get started, and let's see who's in the chat. Eat Greedy X is in the chat. He says, "Hey Rick, just breezing through." And he says, "Question: is it safe to mix Hypnotique with wine?" To be honest, I'm not sure what that is. Hypnotique with wine. You'll have to elaborate on that. I'm not really sure. And but it's great to see you here. It's great to see you here, Eat Greedy X, and thank you for joining me tonight. Stick around. We're going to have some fun. We're going to toast some birthdays, some national days. We're going to, did I give you the rundown for the show? We're going to tell some dad jokes, and I'm going to tell you how you can win a free bottle of wine in July. This July, 2021, I'll tell you how to win a free bottle of wine. Who doesn't want to win a free bottle of wine? I know I do. So let's check the rest of the chats going on right now. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Kind of quiet on Facebook at the moment because it is a Saturday night. It's still kind of early. Let's see. Let's see what's going on right here now. Kind of quite there. Let's check YouTube. Excuse me, YouTube. And all right, so YouTube's kind of quiet. Chat was disconnected for a moment and it reconnected. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Twitter, I don't even know how to deal with Twitter right now. It's going, but folks, if you can tweet me, tweet me your comments, whatever, that's fine. There's supposed to be a chat somewhere there, but I really don't know the particulars about that. Anyway, we're live on all the platforms, all 4 of the platforms that we're live, on which we are live, and also on the website at drinkwithrick.com. Okay, so this is the wine that we're going to open tonight. This is what it looks like. This is called a Terrain Vineyards California 2016 Red Blend. This is a 2016 Red Blend wine, and really this is kind of a mysterious wine because I don't know what that red blend consists of, and I don't think there's a whole lot of information. I've been looking around online to find out exactly what's in that red blend, but it seems to be a mystery to everyone else as well. They don't release that information. I try to go to a website for Terrain Vineyards. They don't seem to have one, at least not that I could find. And everywhere I went, they just said, hey, it's a red blend. We don't know what's in it, but it's an interesting red blend. So we're going to find out what we can about this wine tonight. This is the back of the wine. I'm going to read the back of the wine to you so we have this down. Let's see. Terrain Vineyards, California Red Wine Blend. Terrain Vineyards Red is a rich and balanced, big red wine. They have a big in all caps there. Big red wine. It is loaded with ripe fruit, finished with a touch of toasted oak and silky tannins. This is a perfect wine to serve at your next party, but structured enough to stand up to meals, from grilled meats to rich red sauces. And the winemaker is John Albaugh. This is cellared and bottled by Terrain Vineyards in Napa, California. And there is 12.5% alcohol by volume, ABV, in this 750 milliliter bottle of wine. And, well, that's good for me because I don't know if I can handle really high alcohol content tonight. I really don't. I'm doing the show. The show must go on, but to be honest, I think I'm going to call it a day early tonight if I can. It's just it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I'm not going to go into the particulars of the moment, but it's just been a long day. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can open this bottle of wine. Hopefully we can, because if we can't, this is going to be a really short show because I'm not going to be able to drink it. And who knows, if this wine's not any good, I may still not be able to drink it. I'm not bashing the wine. I'm just, speculation here. I don't know. It's this wine, I'll tell you about it in a minute. It's okay. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why I'm a little apprehensive about this and speculating about the wrong wine. But we'll talk about it in just a little bit. Okay, let's get on to a close-up on this. And I'm going to try to remove the cork using my mechanical corkscrew, and it comes right out nice and easy peasy. There we go. All right, that's good for starters. And of course, I have to pour the wine. I have my trusty Veneto aerator from the Veneto Wine Lover set, which you can purchase from amazon.com, and there was supposed to be a banner on my website where you can click on it to buy it, but I don't know what happened to it. I really don't. I don't make any money from Amazon anyway. If anything, they took some more money out of my pocket yesterday, so unexpectedly. It's okay. It's another story for another time. Okay, so maybe it's to fund Jeff Bezos' next trip up in his rocket. Okay, so to hold the grape nectar, I have my trusty Galway genuine Irish crystal glass from Ireland, given to me by my employers at BuyTwoBeerRadios.com. Let's go ahead and pour a little bit of this wine in here. Just a little bit for starters, and we're going to set it aside, let it open up, and breathe just breathe. And while we're waiting for it to open up a little bit to try it out, because I didn't decant it first, so we're just going to give it a couple minutes to kind of, get some oxygen in there. And actually, I can kind of smell it from here. It looks like it's got some legs to it too. Wow. So that's interesting. All right, so while it's doing that, let's go ahead and learn some more about this wine. Let's check the chats first and see what we've got going on in the chat. My good friend Ed is in the chat. Ed says, Ed here, all in caps. Ed here. And I'm glad you're here, Ed. It's great to see you. I'm glad you're here. We're going to have some fun tonight. Stick around. This should be a good time. And tell me how you're doing. How'd your week go? I hope it went pretty well. And let's see what else we got here on the chat. I'm going to check a second Facebook page. Oh, that looks like it's all right. There we go. We're good. And what else do we have here? And Twitch. So Twitch, you said, let's see, Eat Greedy X. He says, is it safe to mix Hypnotic with wine? You got to tell me what that is. I don't know. I'm just a rube from Florida, who relocated to North Carolina. I don't know. So what else do we have here? Nothing going on YouTube. It looks like I was successfully reconnected in the chat on YouTube, so hopefully we'll get some folks in there. And my good friend Nancy, Tom and Nancy, they have given me a thumbs up there, liking the show, and they're watching. I don't see any comments, but they're watching it. Hey, jump in and tell me how you're doing. I hope you're all doing very, very well, and it's great to see you here. It's great to see you here tonight. Okay, so let's learn a little bit more about this wine that I picked up. Now, I picked up this wine from Trader Joe's. And I went to Trader Joe's for a couple other wines that I like to try. And, of course, the Puerto Plata that we tried last week came from Trader Joe's as well. It turned out to be a fabulous wine for $8.99. It was actually, and I want to say fabulous, I'm saying it wasn't like a $20 bottle of wine or a $30 bottle of wine, but it was pretty good. After it opened up, it was pretty decent. And it came in a really, really nice bottle, a lot more expensive looking than $8.99. But enough about last week's wine. Let's talk about this week's wine. This week's wine, Terrain Vineyards, I couldn't find a whole lot about, folks, honest. I could not find a whole lot about this wine. What little I did find online, though, people tended to give it some mixed reviews, but they seem to like it more than not like it, considering the price. A lot of them said, you know what, this is... if you're putting this side by side with a $2 Chuck, and for those of you who don't know what $2 Chuck is, that's the Charles Shaw wine. I've had one sitting up here for a couple of years, and I took it down because I was just tired of looking at it. Never opened it up. It's actually downstairs. I don't dare to open that one because it's 2 or 3 years old. And the Charles Shaw wines, they're very, very low end wines, and they're not intended to have long shelf lives. Anyway, I haven't had any yet. So, where was it? Oh, yes. There's that stream of consciousness flowing again. Anyway, Charles Shaw wines, also known as $2 Chuck, sold at Trader Joe's for many years. And the reason that it's called $2 Chuck is because that they sell it for about $2 a bottle. Now, they used to sell it for $2 a bottle. I don't know. I think it's still going for $2.99. Maybe it's a little bit higher now, but when they came to North Carolina, when in California it was $2. When they came to North Carolina, it was a little bit more than that, so they kept it. They did their best to keep it down to $2.99, so they could still call it $2 Chuck. And I have had more than a few bottles of it when I was on a really, really tight budget, and I can tell you that. It's, as my sister Gina would put it, it's drinkable, but barely. And I recall her saying that to me one time. And I wholeheartedly agree. And these days, I can't really say that it's really that drinkable. But you know what? When you're in a pinch, when you're broke, and it's wine, it's better than... look, it's better than Mad Dog or something. But of course, some people would disagree with me with on that because some people really like that sort of thing. Anyway, we're digressing. I'm digressing. So I looked this up, Terrain Vineyards, the Red Blend 2016. Vivino has it. Excuse me. Vivino has it. They're listing it for $3.99 a bottle, and that is. I'm going to tell you what I paid for in just a minute, but apparently it gets 3.6 stars out of 937 ratings. So we'll see. We'll taste it and see. Before I do that, let me go back to the chat for just a moment, see who else has joined us. And Ed, I hope you're doing well, my friend. And Algoruth's in the chat. Algoruth says, "Hey Rick, how's life? Kind of tired here. Just wanted to say hi." Well, I'm glad you're here, Algoruth. Please stick around, join us. I mean, if you're tired, you're tired. I understand. But if you can hang around for just a little bit, join in. We're going to have some fun tonight. All right, so where was I? Oh, yes, I was just about to taste this wine. You notice I've been putting this off a little bit. It's like, okay, let me tell you what I paid for it. I have the Trader Joe's receipt right here. Let me adjust my hairy pothead glasses a little bit. And let's see, the Terrain Red Blend California, $3.99 a bottle. That's what I paid for it. There you go, $3.99 a bottle. And I only bought one bottle because I really didn't know how this was going to go. And I still don't. But we're going to try it right now. Now, I'm going to give it a whiff. Let's give it a swirl here first. It does have some legs. It looks like it's fairly full-bodied. So, okay. I don't know what the red blend is, but there's a lot of cherry in here. And I'm getting some blackberry in here too. Cherry and blackberry. It smells a little oaky. But let's give it a little whiff. Let's give it a little whiff. It smells pretty jammy, actually. It smells real jammy. Okay. That's a busy little wine there. Okay, let me pour a little bit more of this. I'm going to have to take a second whiff. There's a lot. There are a lot of flavors in this wine. There's a lot going on in this wine. It doesn't have a super long finish or anything like that. It does have a finish. It's kind of strong. This is a bold wine, first of all. And probably because it needs to open up a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know. But it's a fairly dark complexion. This is quite a bold wine. And and there's some tannin in it. There's some tannin in it, but it says on the bottom. It's on the bottom. On the bottle. I just had my first taste, folks. We haven't gotten that far. Is that how this night's gonna go? So it says on the bottle, and I'll read that part again. That it says it has silky tannins. Silky tannins. Now, maybe it needs to open up a little more. I wouldn't call them silky, per se, but they are kind of smooth. It's kind of smooth tannin, and it's not overly tannic. It isn't overly tannic. There are tannins in here. It's probably medium, but I don't know if it call it really. It's smooth. I don't know if I'd call them silky. Actually, not too bad. Yeah, still not silky, but rather smooth. This is a fairly dry wine. It's not super dry, but it's a fairly dry wine. But I am getting the cherry, the blackberry. It is kind of oaky, and it's a bit jammy. It's a bit jammy. Now, probably as it opens up, it's probably going to be okay. It's going to be a little bit smoother, maybe. Maybe I'll get the silky tannins out of it. We're going to open it up a little bit, see how it goes. Getting a little bit of chocolate in here, too. Maybe that's at the very end, very end. But it's not a bad wine. But it is oaky. It is oaky, and let's see. Getting a little hint of blueberry in here too. Actually, I'm getting a little more blueberry than I was. I wasn't really getting any blueberry at the beginning. Now I'm getting a little bit of that now. This might be a good wine to pair with the pasta. I don't know about the other item we have, and I have not shown you what we have to pair it with tonight. This is what we have to pair it with tonight. Camera 3's on. My wonderful wife, Chi, my lovely wife, Chi, prepared this dish for us just before the show. And what I have here, I have some lamb. Now, this would have been great with the Puerto Plata that we had last week. I don't know about this one, but probably it's not too bad. This is some lamb. And we have, what is this? It's gnocchi. Nashi, whatever it is, that we have it. That's what's in the middle here. We call it something else at the dinner table. Just because of what it looks like, and I'm not going to go there right now. Maybe later. We also have the Colby Jack cheese and this is the unexpected cheddar with parm, and we have the Trader Joe's double cream Gouda and some crackers to help clear the palate. That's what we have tonight. Now, I'm going to go to the chat one more time and see what's going on here. And it's kind of quiet. CM Cinder's in the chat, and it's great to see you. She says, whoop. Ganache. It's pronounced ganache, huh? I believe. That's what. Is it pronounced ganache? Ganoche? Ganache? Nashi? Noshi? I'll tell you what, you can tell us what it looks like. Give you another shot of that. Cam 3. There we go. Somebody at the table, it's not the first time it's been said, somebody at the table says it looks like maggots, but yeah, that's right. They kind of do look like let's not go there, okay? We're just going to ruin everybody's appetite. Seam Sender says, is it spelled ganache or ganache or something? Gnoche or Gnashe? Because the E would be silent. Ganache, Gnish, I don't know how it's pronounced. And I didn't bother to look it up on YouTube. Have you ever gone to YouTube and you're trying to figure out how to pronounce something? You know, how to pronounce this or how to pronounce that, and you go up on YouTube and they've got all these different how to pronounce kind of things. And half of them are wrong to begin with. You know, these people put up all these little videos on how to pronounce various words. And I found that I still walk away confused half the time because it turns out that sometimes that video is incorrect. Whoever pronounced it didn't pronounce it correctly, and now everybody's pronouncing it incorrectly. Let's see. Seam Center says the G may also be silent or blend into the sound of the N, like one syllable. Well, maybe if you can look at that up for me. If anyone else knows, anyone else in the chat knows how it's pronounced, Gnosh, Gnosh, Gnish. Ed, I'm sure you know. Ed's a very smart guy, and he knows a lot of these things. Let's see, what do we got going on here on... Nothing going on YouTube, so good, fine. We have people watching? Yeah, I guess. Anybody besides me? All right, so yeah, a lot of self-deprecating humor. That's what we do on this show. That's what I do on this show. All right, so let's go ahead and taste. Let's do the pairing, the food pairing. Let's go with the Nosh, Nish, Nash, Nush, whatever you call it. Cam 3's on. This is what we're eating. Okay, and it has tomato sauce on it. We're going to pair a little bit of it with this wine. And it's good, actually. It's good nosh, by the way. Nosh, niche, nosh. Whatever. Let's see if it's going to go with this. Hey, actually, I kind of like that. It's kind of like that. I think the tannin helps. The tannins in here, and they are kind of smooth tannins, but I think it really helps with the tomato sauce. I've got to try that again. That's kind of tasty. And I haven't had dinner tonight, folks, so pardon me if I start pigging out on the plate. As a figure of speech. This is good. Oh, I like that. That's a nice pairing. So I'd say the Terrain Vineyards wine, whatever blend is in here, and we have no idea what the blend is. Could be anything. And from what I've been reading, it could be several different things, depending on what they're bottling at the moment. Apparently, they make this red blend, and it might be, and it's quite possible that that's on purpose, because they get the wines from different places and blend it together, and it's going to be it's going to change probably. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm speculating. I have no idea. Maybe if someone from Terrain Vineyards could hop in and tell us more about this wine, that would be very helpful. I'm going to clear the palate a little bit, and let's pour. Oh, we got a wine in here. Let's go back to camera 3 for a minute. Okay, let's try it with the. This is the lamb. This was a lamb shank. What's left of a lamb shank, and we had the other night, and it was quite good. It was very good, and I had it with some wine. Trying to remember what I had it with. It might have been a Bogle Merlot or something, but it was quite a good wine. And no, I had it with another bottle of the Puerto Plata. I had it with the bottle of the Puerto Plata, and it was really good with that. Because I bought a second bottle of it, and because I liked it on the show. Let's see. This is great lamb, by the way. Okay. Now, some people don't like lamb. Some people really do. If you really like lamb, then this is probably a decent wine to pair it with. I think it pairs pretty well with the lamb, and it brings out a little bit of smokiness. And I think that's because of the oaky flavor of this wine. The oakiness in the wine really, really helps with the lamb. I think it does. Okay, I'm gonna clear the palate one more time. Let's try it with some cheese. How about that? I'm gonna try it with the cheese. Back to camera 3, and let's see what we've got here for cheeses. We've got. Let's try it with the Colby Jack. That's a good idea. Colby Jack. A lot of red wines go good with a Colby. Monterey Jack, and this is kind of a Colby Jack combo. Oh, what that was. It's not bad. Not bad at all. You know, for some reason my phone was supposed to be on mute, and it's not. I've got stuff going on this phone. I don't know what's going on with this phone. Goodness. All right, it's spam on my phone. How about that? Spam on my phone. I do not need that. Should probably just shut it off. Anyone else have trouble? I'm sure everybody has trouble with spam on the phone, right? Scammers calling up all the time and things like that. It's just, it's part of owning. It's just one of the hazards of owning a phone, right? Clear the palate one more time. Now let's try it with the, hold on. Let's try it with the, what is this? This is the Unexpected Cheddar with Parm. Unexpected Cheddar with Parm, which I like. And we're going to try it with a little more of this wine. I got to pour a little bit more of this. This is good cheese, by the way. And you can get that at Trader Joe's as well. At least I could. I did. Okay, this is an interesting pairing. I think it was not so much the cheddar, but the excuse me, but the Parmesan that added a twinge of it added something to that pairing for this wine. This wine actually went fairly well, particularly bringing out the Parmesan flavor of the cheese quite a bit. Once again, I have no idea what's in this blend. I really don't, and they won't tell you. But whatever it is, it seems to go pretty well with the food so far. I'm actually surprised. I don't know if I drink this by itself, but I think I would have it with some food. For the food, with the food, I don't think that's a bad price. Or if you're just having a nice dinner on the during the week or something, or on the weekend and nothing that's going on. Include the palate one more time. And let's try it, back to camera 3, let's try it with the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda. Of course, we've never had a miss with this cheese. Never, ever, ever had a miss with it. I don't expect one tonight. The Gouda, it's a classic here on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. Also from Trader Joe's. Very good cheese. Let's try it with this one. Creamy. It's double cream Gouda, but it's the creaminess is also accentuated with this wine, and I think some of it has to do with the fact that the tannins are very smooth. It's not. It doesn't hurt the cheese at all. So I think it's actually a pretty good pairing. I think overall it's pretty good. Let's go back to the chats for just a moment and see what we've got going on Facebook. So Ed, how's your weekend going? By the way, hope your weekend's going really well. And I got a little pop-ups going on Facebook. I don't know what's happening there. Hope I'm not missing anyone else in the chat there on Facebook, because it is kind of problematic for me. I'm still using the old version of the streaming system they've got there. I haven't gone over to the new one yet because the new one's a little wacky for me. Well, let's see. The pasta is spelled. This Seam Cinder says the pasta is spelled Gnocchi. That's right. This is called. She's talking about the gnocchi or noshi. It's spelled Gnocchi. Now she says, "Yep, looked it up." So I'm guessing nochi. Yep, looked it up. So it's nochi. Now, see, I was calling it that before, and because I was sort of teasing my wife because her name's Chi, Nochi. But it's actually good. I like it. I'm gonna have some more of this. The nochi is good. So it's nochi. It's nochi cooked by Chi. Okay. Very good. And yes, CM Sender, I am getting the chat messages out of order because I'm scrolling up, so apologize for that. My apologies. My apologies there. Algarith, how you been doing? How you been doing there, my friend? Haven't seen you there for a while, but I'm glad to see you here tonight. I hope everything is going on with going well with you. Going on. Everything that's going on is going on well with you. There you go. Yeah, I think I should kind of cap this one early. 12.5% alcohol is not that much in the big scheme of things. Okay, so we've got the tasting out of the way. I think it's time to do some birthdays. Okay, so let me cue the fireworks. Fireworks cued. Let me cue the wine. I'm going to load the wine glass up here. And let's do some birthdays. You know, the first birthday I want to toast. I toasted. Now, two of them I toasted last week because it was on a Wednesday. I want to toast them again just briefly because they're good old friends of mine. Good old friends. They're good old friends of mine. They're good friends of mine, and we go way back to our days at WFL in Orlando, Florida, Channel 35. And that would be Ray Ann. Here's to you. Happy birthday. I also want to toast my good friend Chris Wolf again because he was so helpful. He was very instrumental in my career there, my early career in television, particularly with doing voice work and doing promotion stuff and doing some of the editing that I was doing, things like that. Got, doing some film shoots, things like that, various things. We wore a lot of hats back there in the early days when we were still an independent station. Then when we became a Fox affiliate, we really got to do a lot of different things. It kind of stepped things up in a couple of notches because now we weren't just a little independent TV station. We weren't just an independent station. We were big time, 35th in the market, I think, at the time. So, Chris, my good friend Chris Wolf, thank you for the opportunities and happy birthday to you. Ray and Chris's birthdays both were on this past Wednesday, the 21st of July. And Ray, happy birthday. Chris, happy birthday to you. I'll toast you again, Chris. Happy birthday. Hope you and your family are doing really well. Okay, so I also wanted to give my nephew Jordan another shout out because I did toast him last week too, but it was close to the end of the week. His birthday was this past Thursday, the 22nd. So I want to give another toast to and shout out to my nephew Jordan Cison. Here's to you. Happy birthday. And congratulations on your daughter. 4 months. Happy birthday and congratulations. Here's to my nephew Jordan. Now, for some new birthdays, not too many new birthdays this week, but I've got a couple new birthdays. One is for my friend Nancy, old friend of mine, and I've mentioned Nancy many times before. I've mentioned her dad many times before. Unfortunately, her dad is no longer with us, Manuel, and who's helped me out quite a bit in the past. And our families were friends for many years, still are. My sister and Nancy are also good friends. Nancy's brother William and I were also good friends, and we hung out quite a bit together when we were younger. And William helped me out on a lot of projects, and some of my electronics projects, because he was a computer whiz and he was building his own computers. And this was back in the day. This was in the 70s. This was in the 70s where computers were mostly lights and switches like what you see on some of the old sci-fi movies of the 50s and 60s, mostly lights, flashing lights and switches and things like that. That was a computer that he built early on in his bedroom, and he showed me how to wire wrap. I first learned how to wire wrap there, and he helped me out with one of my projects that that really kind of saved my project. Actually, I was building a calculator, and anyway, so William, I haven't talked to him, and I haven't seen him in eons, but I do miss him. And my friend Nancy, that's his sister. Nancy, your birthday was yesterday, right? The 22nd? Is that right? No, it was the 23rd. I'm sorry. It was yesterday. Yesterday was Friday, so that's the 23rd. I'm losing count here. But anyway, I want to say happy birthday to my good friend Nancy Rojas. May you have many, 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 many more. And you know what, Nancy? I'm going to toast you again because I have plenty of wine here. And I can do that. I'm going to make that call. Happy birthday to you, Nancy. Happy birthday. Here's to you. There's one more birthday I want to toast, and this is for someone else who is very, very close to our family, part of our family. This is my niece Julia. Now, my niece Julia, she is the middle child of my sister Gina. You know, Gina gets in the chat from time to time, and she's drinking along with Rick. She drinks right along with us, and she has participated a lot. As a matter of fact, it was Gina who actually kind of helped me get this show rolling. It really was in the very first episode. I'm not going to go there now because I'm digressing, but this isn't about me. It's not about the show right now. This is about Julia, and my niece Julia. Her birthday is this coming Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, the 28th, and I want to say happy birthday to you, to my niece Julia. Happy birthday! May you have many more. Let me add a couple more minis in there, okay? I'll toast you again just because I can, because I'm your Uncle Rick and I can. Here's to Julia. Happy birthday. To my niece, Julia Stepp. I think that does it for the birthdays this week. Once again, we are drinking the Terrain Vineyards. This is a budget-friendly wine, and it is kind of friendly. It's not bad. It sure beats $2 Chuck, I'll tell you that. It is a much friendlier, it's a bold wine like Charles Shaw, but it's I think it's easier to drink than a Charles Shaw wine. And you know, believe it or not, I got to show this to you. Well, I'm not going to tilt it too far, but you know, I've talked about the punts down the bottom of the wine, the little pits down here. And usually it's the more expensive wines that have those punts. And the reason for those punts are to collect a lot of the sediment that can collect in the bottle of wine as it is stored over a period of time. And this $2 Chuck, you know, I should have brought my Charles Shaw up here. I didn't. But it has a flat bottom. That's because it was not meant to stay on the shelf very long. That was a wine that was meant to, you know, $2.99. You take it home, you drink it, and that's it. That's the end. But the deeper the punt, theoretically speaking, the deeper the punt, the longer you can store the wine. Now, I'm saying that theoretically because there are some wines that they will put more expensive, because it's a more expensive bottle. It's a more expensive bottle to produce. So they usually don't want to waste the more expensive bottles on the cheaper wines. So this is kind of interesting. I would have expected this to be kind of a flat bottom. Especially for a $3.99 bottle of wine, I would expect this bottle to be flat or nearly flat, but this has a little punt. Now, it's not a very deep punt. Mind you, see, it only goes up to the first knuckle of my finger. But it is a punt nonetheless, which means that theoretically it could be stored a little bit longer. And that usually makes it a better, you know, I don't really want to say this, but it insinuates or suggests that it might be a better quality wine than you might think. For $3.99, it's not bad. I will give you my final review on this wine at the end of the show, so stick around. I'll give you my final review. But before we do that, we have, let me check the chats one more time. And Ed says, I'm watching my diet closely now. All my wine is vicarious. Oh, it's vicarious. And carbs and sweets and dairy and caffeine, at least for the next 3 months. And Ed says, am I whining because I'm not whining? No, not at all, Ed. Actually, you know what? Speaking of which, I really need to get back on my diet. I really do. So I'm really proud of you, Ed, and I'm really impressed that you're doing this diet and the cutting out the carbs and the sweets, the dairy, the caffeine for 3 months. I tried that for 3 months, and it actually works. But I have slipped back into my old ways. One reason is because, well, I've got the wine stream going on every week, and it's kind of hard not to it's difficult to go 3 months without drinking any wine just because I've got to open up one bottle a week, right? So that's a little. But the thing is the caffeine. It's the caffeine. Now, I don't know if you're a big coffee drinker, as I am. I know it seems like I remember that you were known to drinking some coffee from time to time, but for me, I have to have the coffee in the morning, particularly on the Monday mornings and the Wednesday mornings when I drive out to work in Rock Hill, because it is quite a bit of a drive, and it is not at all uncommon for me to have 3 or 4 cups of wine, mugs of wine, in the morning when I'm just trying to get going. Especially if I've been up late the night before working on other stuff related to my job. So it just kind of keeps me going. So yes, I do. I have. I really do. I really do like coffee. I really do. And I've thought about doing a coffee version of Drink with Rick. I put that on hold for a while on the back burner. I do have, if that Square guy's around, I don't know if he's around, but I do have my Square mug, and I bought that particularly so I could drink some coffee on the coffee version of Drink with Rick. Let's see if he's around here. I don't know who's in Twitch at the moment. Let's see, CM Cinder. Okay, it looks like I'm caught up in the chat there, so good. It seems like on YouTube, the chat is disconnecting and reconnecting and disconnecting and reconnecting. I don't know what's up with that. Let me type a quick good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Let's try good. Okay. I know it's kind of hard to type on it. So way over here. Good evening. Blah, blah, blah. You see. Anyway, okay. So Ed, I'm glad you're doing the diet thing. Maybe I can make that a challenge with you, my friend, because I really need to get back to the diet. Maybe I can try that again for another 3 months to see if I can get rid of this deep belly fat that I've developed from being from being cooped up for over a year and a half at home during COVID. That's what happened. Was I was doing okay, and then a year and a half being cooped up here, I'm piling on the weight, and now I got to get rid of it again. So I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of people are having that issue. I'm on the wrong camera, aren't I? There we go. Let's go switch to the other camera. Apologize for that, folks. Watching the other cameras again. The cameras, I don't know. So anyway, oh yes, national days. Let's do some national days, shall we? Let's all toast. It's okay, Ed. Water is fine. Water is fine. Decaffeinated tea is fine. As a matter of fact, excuse me. Decaffeinated tea is a diuretic, and it is good for you, and is full of antioxidants. Decaffeinated tea is good. Ed says, I kicked coffee a few years ago before an echocardiogram and stress test. Withdrawal for 3 or 4 days, and I don't want to go through that again, so I never started coffee again. I understand. Okay, not a problem. Good. Water, though, is very healthy for you. There's a little trick that I learned that I had since not been keeping up with because I start off my day with coffee. But you know what? You have inspired me. You've inspired me to try to get back into this. One of the tricks about getting rid of the fat and the deep fat, as they call it, getting yourself back in shape, is to start the day off with about 8 ounces of water. 4 to 8 ounces of water. If you wake up in the morning and just have 4 to 8 ounces of water to start the day, to hydrate yourself, and then you can drink, I think they recommend 64 ounces of water or something like that on average through the day and the evening. But if you stick to the water, and 16 ounces, this is a 16.5 ounce bottle of water. So if you have like 4 bottles of these throughout the entire day, then that definitely helps you to kind of get rid of some of that fat. Now, I am not a dietitian. I don't play one on TV. I'm not playing one here on the stream, but this is just what I've been told. And when I tried this in the very beginning, it seemed to work. I took off about 30 pounds, and in the course of about 60, 70 days. And it was really, really good to be able to lose that weight. Now I'm gaining it back, and I have got to get back into that routine. Ed, you are an inspiration to me, my friend. I think I'm going to start doing this right away. And if you can do it, I can do it, right? We can all do it. Take that challenge. And let's see, go back to Twitch for just a minute. And Tom Antio's in the chat on Twitch. He says, I had some Earl Grey tea today. Yes, you did. Good to see you there, Tom. And isn't that Captain Picard's favorite drink? Earl Grey tea, hot. Earl Grey tea, hot. Yeah, it is. With honey is good. It's healthy with honey. Healthier with honey than with sugar, for sure. So, okay, so the national days. Let's go to the national days real quick. And Ed, it's okay if you've got water. We can toast with water. That's just perfectly fine with me. It's just as long as you're toasting right along with us. July 24th. Okay, let me get the wave. Here we go. I'll do the wave here. July 24th is National Thermal Engineer Day. We really had to start things off like that, didn't we? National Thermal Engineer Day. But it's also National Tequila Day. Today is also National Tequila Day. I will drink to that. National Tequila Day. Tequila. Ooh. It's National Drive-Thru Day. Today is National Drive-Thru Day. A lot to be said for drive-throughs. Oh, I was reading this was making the news all around a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? And they were rating the best and the worst. I don't have anything like that up here right now, but I'm doing this from memory, as bad as it is. I got a few brain cells left. I think they're all going to be dead by the time I get through this glass. So I was looking around the internet, and I was reading some news reports and stuff, and that they did a survey. They did this latest survey of the best and worst drive-thrus. And the best drive-thru, they say the number one drive-thru is Chick-fil-A. The number one drive-thru is Chick-fil-A. Now, as busy as Chick-fil-A is, and we go in there, I love Chick-fil-A. I really do love Chick-fil-A. They're great. They have the great sandwiches. I love their soup. Their chicken soup is just, it's really, really good. I really enjoy their chicken soup. And the fries are not bad, the waffle fries, and they've got their little Chick-fil-A sauce, the waffle fries that I dip into. But, yeah, it's only 12%, 12.5% alcohol by volume, folks. But the Chick-fil-A is great. I love Chick-fil-A. But I'll tell you what, the drive-thru, every time we go through the drive-thru, it is packed. But they have a system in place where they're able to run everybody through the drive-thru, and it's so efficient. And the other thing about Chick-fil-A is that the people there are so nice. I have never had a bad experience at Chick-fil-A. Never, ever, ever, ever. Every time I've gone to Chick-fil-A, not only is the food consistently good, but the people there are efficient, quick, and they're nice. They're just they are really, really they're on the ball for one thing, but they're really, really nice. Customer service, 100%. I think Chick-fil-A is number one. I agree with that. Now, on the bottom end of the scale, okay, well, let's do a quick thing here. Who do you think? This shouldn't be too hard. Okay, what fast food place is rated the worst for drive-thrus? Okay, I'm going to throw that out at you. Okay? Seam Cinder says, LOL waffle flies. Yeah. Tom Antio says you should review some tequilas. Yeah, well, I'm not going to make... my kids suggested me last week that I should get up there and make some margaritas and stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm going to just make a huge mess of this place. I don't know if I could do that right now. Let's see. Tom Antio says he says I had some Earl Grey tea today, but I don't think Captain Picard had honey in it though. No, I don't think he did. I think he drank it pretty much straight. Earl Grey, hot. That was it. Nothing sweet in there. He says you should review some tequilas. Probably should. Not tonight though. Not tonight. 12.5% alcohol is about the most I can handle tonight. Okay? And where was I? Oh, yes. Okay, so we're doing the national days, right? All right, so where was I? Okay, so it's National Drive-Thru Day. I asked the question, what do you think is the worst drive-thru experience? It's rated as the worst drive-thru. Come on now. Number one drive-thru is Chick-fil-A. That's by the surveys and everything. That's their rating for 2021. The number one fast food drive-thru is Chick-fil-A. What is the number one? What is the number one worst drive-thru? Okay, it's according to the survey now. And I'll tell you something in just a moment. Let me get some answers from everybody here. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Anybody know? What's the worst drive-thru? What's rated as the worst drive-thru in the U.S. today? I don't know if it's just the U.S., but it's for 2021. Anybody know? I'll give you a few seconds. To chime in. If you don't, I'll go ahead and tell you. People are afraid to ask. People are afraid to throw it in. So CM Cinder says, I don't know, McDonald's. Yes, you would be correct. It is McDonald's. McDonald's is rated the worst drive-thru consistently. For 2021, McDonald's, the worst drive-thru. Is anybody surprised by that? Anyone shocked or surprised by that? I tell you what, I tell you, here, I have a story. Story time. Okay. Algorithm, you still around? Story time. Okay, so this past week, now I go into the office. I do a hybrid thing here where I work at home 3 days a week. I go into the office at, as you know, I'm working by 2areas.com. I go into the office 2 days a week. And so I drive down to Rock Hill, and that's over the border. So it's about a half hour, maybe roughly a 35, 40-minute drive to Rock Hill. And this is Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now, I live over the border in North Carolina, but I work in South Carolina. So I make that trip a couple of days a week, and during the day, now I hate to say this, but I do have got kind of a thing for chicken sandwiches, cheap chicken sandwiches, okay? This goes into two stories, actually. I'm not going to go through that now. So I kind of like, believe it or not, I kind of like the really, really cheap McDonald's chicken sandwich, the one on their dollar menu. Now, the one reason I like it is because it's a little easy to eat chicken sandwich, and if it's real chicken, I don't know, but I like it. The second reason, of course, is probably really the number one reason. It's cheap. It's dang cheap. It's a cheap chicken sandwich. Cheap lunch, okay? And my wife would say, well, that's because you're a cheap guy, but, I guess maybe. Okay, I'm a cheap guy. What can I say? But I like a good cheap chicken sandwich sometimes, if it's good. And so McDonald's has a good cheap chicken sandwich with their fries. And come on, the McDonald's fries, they're a guilty pleasure with a lot of people. Come on, let's face it. Who doesn't like McDonald's fries? You don't have to admit you like McDonald's fries, but I think it's a foregone conclusion that a lot of people like McDonald's fries. They did not get to the size that they got, the company. McDonald's didn't get to be as big as they got by serving crappy fries, okay? I have to think about that once for a second. Anyway, anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, my stream of consciousness. All right, so McDonald's, I went to McDonald's. I liked it on Wednesdays. I like to go sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes if I have time, take a quick lunch break and go down to McDonald's and get a chicken sandwich and a little cheap thing of fries. It cost me like, what, $3. So this past, now normally, yes, the one thing I do detest is going through the drive-thru, because your drive-thru, especially between noon and about 2:30, it's a mess. And it's not organized like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, they have theirs organized and they can get people in and out no matter how busy it is. At least that's been my experience. But you go to McDonald's and it is it's a total mess. And I got in that line. I had to drive around the building once entirely to get to the back of the line to get in there. This was this past Wednesday. And I sat there. I get an hour for lunch, right? Okay, so I sat there, and I sat there, and I sat there, and I sat there. The line did not move at all. It did not move at all. So after, I don't know how long I was there. It was quite a while, and I'm running, I'm burning gas, and the car's running and everything, and it's hot. It's like 92 degrees outside or whatever. So I said, well, I've had enough of this. So I finally got out of the line. I was able to get out of the line and just drive around. Now, in order to get out of McDonald's, I still had to drive around the line past everybody else. I was waiting in order. Lo and behold, there was one lady sitting at apparently she was making some kind of an order there, and I don't know if she didn't know what she wanted or whatever, but she had been sitting there. She had been holding up that line for about 6-7 minutes, just sitting there, and nobody could move anywhere. So I said, well, I'm out of here. And they had no contingency. The thing is, McDonald's had no contingency for something like that. Chick-fil-A does. They have a system in place. But at least the one that we go to, they have a system in place, and it works really well, and the line moves very quickly. It's very efficient. McDonald's, they don't have anything like that. And the last couple times I've been to the drive-thru at McDonald's, I've been very nice, very cordial, get the food, and have a nice day. I hope you have a great day. And they kind of look at me like, okay. Okay, yeah, a couple of times have been really nice to me there. They have been really nice to me in the past and on occasion, but I guess they're not getting paid enough. I don't know. Weren't they getting a $15 an hour raise or something, or they're making $15 an hour or something? But it seems like the customer service hasn't gone up that much at McDonald's lately. Anyway, so I bailed on that, and I just drive over to Arby's, in and out in less than 2 minutes at Arby's. In and out in less than 2 minutes. I was done. I had my food, and it was a great meal. And it cost a little more. It did cost a little more, but you know what? I guess you really do get what you pay for in the end, don't you? Anyway, so I digress once again, and that is what National Drive-Thru Day. National Cousins Day. Okay, today is National Cousins Day. National Cousins Day. I have cousins, and I'm quite fond of my cousins. And some of my cousins are often in the chats here. I don't know if any of them are here tonight. Let me check. I don't see any of them in the chat tonight, but some of my cousins are in the chat oftentimes and watching the show. And, to all my cousins, here's to National Cousins Day. I love my cousins. I appreciate you. Here's the National Cousins Day. Now, Ed says, checking the chat here on Facebook, Ed says, Thoreau said that water was a good beverage for a wise person. Of course, I read that in a Cliff's Notes booklet on Walton, and I really don't think it was. That's funny. I like that. I got to change that emoji here. Hold on a second. Let me shoot. Here we go. Then I really enjoy that. And Walden Books. You know what? That's a name I haven't heard in ages. Walden Books. What happened to Walden Books? And Ed's and my day, I'm dating us here, really, basically, our ages. But in our day, there was Walden Books, everywhere, and I don't know whatever happened to Walden Books, but I liked Walden Books. Walden Books was a pretty cool place. Is that another one of those book chains that I know? Books A Million. I used to like going to Books A Million. It's in a couple more of those that Jeff Bezos kind of put out of business when he started Amazon. You know that Amazon started off as a bookseller. That was what they did. They started off selling books online. Amazon was a bookseller, and then they added all this other stuff, and now they own. Now they've got a rocket ship, and so anyway, CM Sender says, "LOL, no shock." Are you talking about the McDonald's? LOL, no shock. McDonald's isn't a very quality place. Well, it isn't, but sometimes there's junk food can be. You know what? Junk food is kind of comfort food, isn't it? It is. It's junky. You don't want that stuff in your body. But sometimes when you're in the mood, it's when you need some comfort food. That's the junk food is the comfort food, right? That's what it is. So anyway, where are we? Oh yes, the national days. Okay, so National Cousins Day, National Amelia Earhart Day, National Amelia Earhart Day. Here's to National Amelia Earhart Day. National Day of the Cowboy. Fourth Saturday of July is National Day of the Cowboy. I've got some things I want to say about National Amelia Earhart and this, but it's getting late. We gotta go through these. July 25th, which is tomorrow in about 49 minutes, is National Merry-Go-Round Day. Right, let's all get on the merry-go-round and make ourselves sick, and like we did when we were kids. National Merry-Go-Round Day. It's also National Hot Fudge Sundae Day. Oh, Ed, now that you're here, you remember last week? Did I say it was National Banana Split Day? Is that what it was? And Ed, you weren't here last week, but we were talking. We had a bunch of people in the chat here on Twitch, and we were talking about banana splits and making banana splits. And I gave the Disney's back when we worked in the cone shop. Ed Anthony and I used to work in the Borden's Cone Shop and in the Veranda Pavilion Restaurant out at Walt Disney World in the Walt Disney World Village at the time. And that's what we did, was we made the ice cream, the sundaes, and the desserts and things like that for the restaurant. And I gave it wasn't my recipe, it was the Disney's recipe, and I was trying to remember from memory what the recipe for the banana split was, and I got a couple of things wrong, but then I kind of backtracked a little bit as things came back to me, because we made so many of them that it's kind of hard to forget them over time. Your memory gets fuzzy a little bit, but then it comes back to you. And I was saying that, okay, this is what we did, was we split a banana in half. We had 3 scoops of ice cream in a banana boat kind of glass, and there was vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And we put the vanilla, chocolate, strawberry scoops in there. We pressed the bananas down in between them, so they had half a banana in each one. And then we would put the And I was trying to remember which topping went on each scoop. And it seems to me that I remembered that the pineapple went on the chocolate, the strawberry went on the vanilla, and the chocolate went on the strawberry, I think. But you can set me straight on that because I'm pretty sure you remember better than I do. But I think what we did was we put the strawberry topping on the vanilla, the pineapple topping on the chocolate, and the chocolate topping on the vanilla. And then what we do is we go with the whipped cream, put the whipped cream across the whole thing, and then we cover it with nuts, unless they didn't want nuts. And then we put 3 cherries, 1, 2, 3, on the banana split. And of course, if they didn't want the whipped cream, we'd have to go back and go scrape the whipped cream off. But that's how we made a banana split. Now, we had a hot fudge sundae. It's because tomorrow is National Hot Fudge Sundae Day. We had a different bowl that we did the hot fudge sundaes in. We did we had this kind of I'm not sure how else to describe it, but we had another glass that was shaped like a for better lack of the explanation or the description, it would be a 3-leaf clover, I guess you'd say. 3-leaf clover kind of thing. It was 1, 2, 3 like this. And you would put 3 scoops of vanilla, 1, 2, 3, one in each one of the little, I guess, for lack of a better word, the leaves, the 3-leaf clover. And then you would you would cover it with whipped cream, not cover the whole thing, but just put whipped cream in the middle, and maybe nuts if they wanted nuts, and a cherry. And then what you did was you poured we had like a little steel cup, and it was a little cup there that we would take and dip a scoop of hot fudge. We had a hot fudge machine there where we would store the hot fudge. It would heat it all up, and it would get all really, really fudgy, be really smooth. But it was really, really hot, and we'd pour it in the little metal dish that we had, a little side dish. It was a little side dish. And then they would go to the table, and then people would take the really, really hot fudge out of the little metal side dish, and they would pour it over their or whatever they wanted to do with it. It's okay, But that was how we made a hot fudge sundae. Now, am I remembering that one correctly? Ed would know because he was right there. And Ed says correct. Oh, what did I win, Ed? What did I win? No, it's okay. But yeah, that was correct. The hot fudge sundaes, because Ed and I made a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them. And we made the Captain's Tower was another one that was kind of a specialty item. And I'm not going to go into how to make a Captain's Tower tonight, but I do remember how to make a Captain's Tower. Believe it or not, Ed, I do remember how to make a Captain's Tower because we made thousands of these things. And I can't necessarily speak for Ed, but I know I personally would go home after doing this for 8 hours, and I'd close my eyes, and that's all I would be dreaming about for a while, was scooping all this ice cream and making all these sundaes and stuff. It was, yeah. I could not eat ice cream when I left Disney. Well, when I was working at Disney, I couldn't eat the ice cream anymore. But when I left Disney, because it made such a mess, didn't it? Yeah, Ed says fudge pumped into a small souffle cup. That's what it was. It was a small metal souffle cup. And when I left Disney after 9 years, it was a long time before I could actually eat ice cream again. It was that I was so sick of ice cream that it was years and years before I could actually eat ice cream again. And now I love ice cream again, but it just took me a long time to get there. So, yeah. Okay, where were we? Okay, National Ice Cream Sundae Day. All right. Here we go. I will drink to that. National Hot Fudge Sundae Day. That's what it was. National Hot Fudge Sundae Day. Okay. Tomorrow is also National Threading the Needle Day. Anybody ever have trouble threading a needle? I know I have. My wife, who is a great seamstress, she often calls me over to when she's working on something on her sewing machine to go in and thread the needle because the thread comes out. And the reason I can do this, normally I'm not that coordinated, but the reason I can do this is because I'm so nearsighted that I can get up really close and I can see the hole in the needle and I can put the thread in there and get the thread in the needle. That's why. Otherwise, I'd be just as lost with it as she is. Threading the Needle Day. It's also National Hire a Veteran Day. Hire a veteran. Yes, we need to hire more veterans. Oh my goodness, you know what tomorrow is? Maybe we should do a special show just for that. Tomorrow is, let me go to camera 3 for a minute. Get prepared. Let me have some of this. This is good. Oh, well, it broke. Have some more of this. Unexpected cheddar with parm. The reason I'm getting this is because tomorrow it's almost today, but tomorrow is National Wine and Cheese Day. Yes, it is National Wine and Cheese Day. Yes, of course it is National Wine and Cheese Day. Tomorrow is National Wine and Cheese Day. I will drink to that. With wine and cheese, I will drink to that. National Wine and Cheese Day. Who knew? I know now. National Wine Cheese Day. Good stuff. All right. And, you know what? I almost forgot. Let me get back in here. It's also National Parents Day. The fourth Sunday in July is National Parents Day. I do miss my parents. And I know you do. For those of us who have lost our parents over the years, here's to our parents, National Parents Day, fourth Sunday in July. And we'll drink to that. Because without our parents, we would not exist. And I'm not being flippant about that. I'm being totally honest. Let that be a lesson to you kids. If it wasn't for us parents, you wouldn't. They don't want to hear that. Okay, so National Parents Day. Okay, and that does it for the national days. I think that'll do it for the national days. Oh, that cheese is good. I can hardly wait for National Wine and Cheese Day. Wow. And here I am. I just said, Ed, let's do this challenge. Can I start Monday? Can I start Monday morning? National Wine and Cheese Day. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So what else is here? Oh, yeah, we've got... I'm going to tell you how to win a free bottle of wine. Real quick. Let's tell you how to win a free bottle of wine. Okay, Frank Romian of howtopickawine.com is giving away a free bottle of wine for July 2021. Here's how to do it. I'm reading right from his website. So he's changed the rules a little bit. Now here's how he's done it before. And I'm going to read this. The free bottle of wine giveaway rules. I'm reading right from his website at howtopickawine.com. He says, I will run the contest for the month and put everyone who participated into a randomizer to select the winners. The more people that enter, the more wine I give out. In addition, I want to thank all of you for your support, and this is the best way I know how. Sorry, but you have to be living in the 48 states on the U.S. mainland to participate. Disclaimer, you are considered 21 or older if you enter. So if you are not 21 or older, don't enter, because you're making that assumption. By entering, you agree that you are 21 or older. So here's how to win a free bottle of wine July 2021. It's changing the rules a little bit here, but I think that's because in the past everybody had to do a bunch of different things. He's trying to simplify this a little bit, I think, and also because if you've entered the contest in months past and didn't win, he doesn't want you to have to go through the whole process all over again. So he's trying to make it easier for you. So he says, win a free bottle of wine, July 2021 giveaway. To enter, follow me on Instagram at How to Pick a Wine and say hello. It's that easy. So all you have to do is follow me on Instagram at How to Pick a Wine, say hello. I'm going to do that. If you are already following me, send me a private message and your name, and I will enter you. So that's Frank talking. He says, if you're already following him on Instagram, send him a private message and your name. He will enter you into the contest to win a free bottle of wine. And he's been giving away bottles of wine. You know, he had a couple of winners the last month that he posted that I actually thought about mentioning, but I didn't. But I know he has the winners list here. But he's been giving wine away all year. So that's good stuff. Good stuff. So you can win. But you can't win if you don't enter, right? Okay, some people would say, well, you can't lose if you don't enter. But you know what? Yeah. But if you don't enter, nothing's going to happen. So, you just, you've got a chance. You've got a shot at winning. So, please do it. Do it. I will. All right, I've got one more thing to let you know about. Of course, you know that today is the middle of the summer. And the summertime, we've got a lot of storms popping up all around. And we have, this is hurricane season. We have a lot of storms on the horizon from what they say. They say this is going to be an above average year for storms. Now, July has been somewhat quiet so far, somewhat. We've had a few things popping up here and there, but it's been a little quiet. But sometimes a lot of these storms, and I can speak from experience, I know you can too, Ed, that a lot of these storms, particularly off the Florida coast, they don't show up until towards the end of hurricane season. Hurricane season doesn't end until November 30th. So there is plenty of time for storms. Not just the hurricanes, but you can have tornadoes anytime, pop-up storms all over the place that create tornadoes, flooding. They have places, they've been having a serious problem with flooding out in Europe, from what I understand. They've been having, earthquakes all over the place. Earthquakes can happen anytime, anywhere. Tornadoes, I've already mentioned, a lot of different weather events. Please get yourself a weather radio. Okay? Be prepared. Go to ready.gov. It's a government website, ready.gov. Put yourself together an emergency preparedness kit. The third item on that list is to get a hand crank and weather radio. Hand crank radio and weather radio. I've got one right here. We have several. In fact, I have about almost 2 dozen radios in this room somewhere, various places, because that's what I do. That's my day job. But I'm big on weather. I'm big on being prepared. Please get yourself a weather radio. When you do get yourself a weather radio, and I suggest that you do, I'd like for you to go to buy2aradios.com. Buy2aradios.com. We have weather radios, FRS, GMRS radios, MERS radios, CB radios, business radios of all sorts. We have, just a lot of different radios. Scanners, marine radios, airband radios, and of course weather radios. We have them there. This is a page of weather radios. If you use the promo code WINESHOW, WINESHOW, use the promo code WINESHOW at checkout, you can save an additional 5% off your entire order. And that not only includes the weather radios, but includes all of the radio accessories as well. So go to buy2aradios.com, buy2aradios.com, use the promo code WINESHOW, and save 5% off your order. Now, for full disclosure, I am product manager for buy2aradios.com. They do not pay me any extra for pitching this to you, okay? I'm doing this because my boss says, hey, give your viewers and listeners a promo code so they can save 5%. And that's what I'm doing. This is for you. I'm not making any more off of this. As a matter of fact, I'm just doing my day job. They pay me for doing my day job. They don't pay me for doing this, okay? Nobody pays me for doing this. If only somebody would pay me for doing this. But nobody pays me for doing this, okay? So just to let you know, this is a labor of love. What I'm doing here for you tonight, with you here tonight, is a labor of love because I'm just enjoying just being here with you. That's all that this is, really. Now, would I like to, down the road, would I like to monetize this? I'm trying to figure out ways to where I can do this, but because this is the most expensive. I've been podcasting for 15 years, and of all of the shows that I've done, the podcasts, the live streams, Tommy and I we've done a show together called The Free Stuff Show. We have a website, thefreestuffshow.com. It's not really that active anymore. He's doing his show, Cube Command, and I'm doing this and a couple other things. And, of course, the show that I do for my day job, the two-way radio show for my day job, which we're in our 10th year now. But I've been doing this for 15 years, and in all of the 15 years, this wine stream is the most expensive thing I've ever done. It is. This cost me a lot of money. I've got a lot of costs involved in this because, for one thing, I multi-stream this out to 4 different platforms, and I do a lot of other stuff with it too. And of course, having to buy the wine every week, it's expensive. It costs a lot of money, but I'm not making any money. Of course, I've got all these lights and things like that. It's got a studio. I built a very expensive set and things like that. Just for fun. And so I'm not making any money doing this. Now, would I like to be making money? To be fair, to be honest, yes, I would. It'd be great. And it's not a get rich quick kind of thing. That's not how this works. It's just to help kind of offset the costs, just kind of alleviate the burden of the costs a little bit, because it's still going to cost me. But I'm not, and you can buy me coffee if you want to. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you can always buy me a coffee, that'd be fine. But I'm not begging for money here. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just letting you know that this is a labor of love, more than it is an enterprising endeavor. Okay. Would I love to be making it into a monetized show? Sure. Why not? Who wouldn't? If you were doing something like this, would you somebody came along and said, "Hey, I'd like to sponsor your show," would you turn it down? Come on, be honest. But no, this is not. I'm not going out and pitching advertisers for the show. So, but the costs are mounting. They are there and they're mounting. So I'm trying to find different ways to try to offset those costs a little bit. Anything that you support would be great. That would be much appreciated. Anyway, that's as far as I'm going with that, because that is not intended to be. This is not a PBS pitch for money. Okay. This is just me talking to you because I'm being open and I'm being open. I'm being honest with you because I value. First of all, I value your time. I value you as a friend. I value your being here as a viewer and a listener, watching and listening to the show. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, I'm going to tell it to you like it is, and that's how I am. That's who I am. Okay, so I'm just talking. Okay. All right. So anyway, the summary. It's time to do a summary because it's time to close up this show. Don't you think? Let's see. Well, let's go check the chats one more time. Oh yeah. So yeah, Ed says Ed's going to clarify this a little bit with the ice cream. He says correct. Ed says correct was on the toppings of the beast banana split. Okay, so I was absolutely correct on the banana split topping. See, Ed knows, like I said, Ed was right there with me making these things. And we made thousands and thousands of these things, didn't we? Ed says you could dish it out, but you couldn't take it. Yeah, when it comes to the ice cream, I could dish it out, but I couldn't take it. That's true. Ed says, did I ever tell you the story of how an ice cream designer was inspired to title A New Sunday when he saw the headline of a story about how the marriage of Ann Miller and her husband Abe was ending? The local paper's headline read, Abe and Banana Split. Oh, you got me on that, Ed. You got me on that. Okay, you earned this one. You earned this one. Okay. Okay, very good, Ed. That was good. You'd win a joke book, but I've already sent you one. So, did I send you one? I think I did. Okay, that was good, Ed. You got me on that one. All right, so I guess it's time to wrap it up tonight. You know, I did say I was going to read a couple of dad jokes, so let's do that. Let's do that for just a moment. Let me grab my dad joke book. Well, let's read a couple of quick dad jokes. Okay. All right, I'm just opening the book. It's a random page number. Actually, there are no page numbers in this book. Number 555, the dad joke book. Question, why did the baby strawberry cry? Answer, because his dad was in a jam. I'm going to change pages. Waitress, soup or salad? Dad, I don't want a super salad. I want a regular salad. Change the page again. I used to go fishing with Skrillex, but he kept dropping the bass. When the phone rings, Dad says, if it's for me, don't answer it. Who wrote this one? That was dumb. Why? Okay, here we go. This is for banana splits. This one's for Ed. Why did one banana spy on the other? Because she was appealing. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I know. That's pretty bad. Okay, enough dad jokes. We've done enough of that tonight, okay? More dad jokes next time, and hopefully next time there'll be better ones. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Here's my final summary on this wine. This is the Terrain Vineyards. We were drinking the Terrain Vineyards. This is a California wine. It's a 2016 red blend. We have no idea what this blend is. It could be a Merlot Cab. It could be a Cab Merlot. It could be a Cab Grenache. It could be a Merlot Syrah. It could be, I don't know. We have no idea because they won't tell us. All we know is this wine is $3.99 a bottle at Trader Joe's. And for $3.99 a bottle, it's really not too bad. It is definitely not $2 Chuck. I'll give it that. It's better. I'd say it's definitely better than $2 Chuck. It is not nearly as good as the wines that we've had recently. Like what am I looking at here? Like the Puerto de Plata, I'm sorry, the Puerto de Plata wine. That was very good for $8.99 a bottle. Also from Trader Joe's. But, you know, Trader Joe's has some pretty decent prices on wines. I'm actually impressed. They have some pretty decent prices on wines. The wines are usually actually pretty decent, pretty good. So this one is 12.5% alcohol by volume. And it's actually not too bad. It went pretty well. It went pretty well with the Nosh. It went well with that. And I liked it with the lamb. The lamb, it was pretty good with the lamb. And it also went very, very well with the cheeses. It was okay with the, this was a, what was this? This was a, maybe it is kicking in a little bit. I don't know. This is a Colby Jack. Colby Monterey Jack cheese. Also, it went pretty well with this unexpected cheddar with parm, which was not totally unexpected, to be honest. And it also went well, not unexpectedly at all, with the Trader Joe's double cream Gouda. I liked it with all of the cheeses. It went well with all of them, as a matter of fact. I think this is a pretty good buy. It's actually a pretty good buy for a wine. If you're looking for an inexpensive wine, now, I wouldn't serve this at a party with, people are just drinking wine at a party, unless you're going, it's a cheap party, you don't care. Just get a case of this wine. And, a case of this wine, was that 4 times 12? $48. But if you're going to be cheap about throwing a party, then still don't serve this wine. Okay, not for just hanging around for a party, but I can think of a lot of other wines that I would choose to serve at a party. But if you're just drinking this alone, if you're just drinking this, at home with the spouse, with your significant other, the family at home, just on a weeknight or Saturday night or Sunday night or whatever, and just having it with some food, it goes pretty well with the food. It actually does. With all the foods that we tried, it goes pretty well with all of them. So I would not dismiss this wine at all. It's actually a pretty good buy. I was surprised. I was not expecting much of anything with this wine. I really wasn't. I wasn't expecting anything much at all. In fact, when I saw the price, I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to open this thing up and this show's going to be over in 15 minutes. It ain't over yet. But this is actually it's not bad it's not the best wine. It's definitely not a $20 bottle of wine. It's not a $30 bottle of wine. I wouldn't even call it a $10 bottle of wine, but it's actually not bad for the price. It really isn't. And it does beat the heck out of $2 Chuck. All right. And I'm telling you that from experience, from firsthand experience. All right, so we're done for the night, I think. I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. I want to thank my good friend Ed Anthony, who actually helped me out a lot tonight, especially with working out the whole ice cream thing. And Ed says, misplaced it and found the book again recently. Oh, so the Dad Joke book, you misplaced the Dad Joke book, but you found it again. I'm glad you did. Next week, we'll pull some more jokes out of all these Dad Jokes books. Maybe we'll... Okay, wait a minute. Did I say that right? We'll pull some more jokes out of these Dad Jokes books, and maybe we'll have another contest. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm not making any promises yet. We'll see how that goes. And let's see, on Twitch, I want to thank everyone for joining me on Twitch. Thank you for Eat Greedy X for being here. Algorithm also, as always, thank you for being here with me on the chat. CM Cinder, Tom Antio. Did I miss somebody? I missed Toto the dog. I missed Toto the dog 1. He says, hello, Rick. Hello, right back at you. Did I miss it? How did I miss you? But I'm glad you're here. But thank you for being here tonight. And everyone who joined me who did not speak up, thank you for being here, who joined me and just watching passively. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. It really, really is. Next week, I'll have a surprise for you. I'll have a surprise. We'll pick up a decent bottle of wine. We'll try it out, see how it works. But I might have a couple of other surprises too. Maybe a short film. And Ed, you might like this short film as well. It's probably one you haven't seen for a long, long time. Anyway, thank you very, very much for being here with me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that. I do mean that. Please have a great week, but most of all, have a safe week, okay? Please drink from the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, wherever you are. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab. Stay put if you have to. Do not drink and drive, please. That's very important because I do care about your well-being and the well-being of all those around you. Please do not drink and drive. Do not text and drive because that's also dangerous. Because I do want you to have a great week, but most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can all join me here next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.